Hello, Angie here. It is April 18th of 2024. Let's see, I believe it's Thursday. It is Thursday. I am sitting outside on the step. It is 7:10 p.m. I am sitting outside on the step, or on the little glider thingy, the glider swing thing. Anyways, not doing nothing. So I thought I would get on and say hi. So, hi. Anyways, I've got to figure out how to make that to go bigger, but I don't know how. Anyways, so today, let's see, what have I done today? I stayed home all morning, and then we left to go get my daughter from school. So I walked, it took a small, teensy weensy walk to the track with my mutt at the high school. Anyways, picked up Lizzie and then took her and we went and got something to eat and then we dropped her off at the library. While she was at the library, we went and seen my cousin at my grandma's old house, which is now currently my cousin's house. So, anyways, I didn't feel comfortable being in there for whatever reason. So instead of going in, I stood out by the gate by the road, and took the dog on a walk to the park because it's just right up the road, or right down the park's right down the road. There's government apartments and the Austin Village apartments, and then there's the park. So, anyways, I took, and there's a walking path that they put in there. So I took one full lap around it with the dog. They were getting ready for softball. So, anyways, I went back, and my aunt still wasn't ready. So I took a walk around the apartments, the same side that Grandma's house is on, or Grandma's old house is on. I used to live on that side years and years ago, back 2000 to 2004. So, anyways, it was not much has changed, I guess. It was different. I mean, it was different, but it was the same. It was familiar. It's been a while since I've had anything to do with the property and stuff. I mean, whenever we go up to Matt's, I usually go to the park and walk. Sometimes, not all the time, but anyways. So then I went, and after I walked around the one side of the apartments and sat on the side of the house on the little Gooden Drive right by the house, and sat there with the dog and waited on her. Then we came here, I believe. No, we had to go get Lizzie from the library, and then we came here, I think. I have amnesia, so I may have forgotten some things in between there. But anyways, so I've been a little more active today than what I'm used to. I don't know how I feel about it because I should be feeling it way more than I am, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm conflicted. But anyways, I think I should be way more tired than what I am. I shouldn't have even been out walking, but especially on my own. But anyways, um, so that's been my day. And now I'm being yelled at or earlier I was reminded of dishes, and I hate doing dishes. And I smell extremely bad for some reason, and I can't figure out why. I think it's because of a critter infestation in my son's room. Um, and I've got something going on with my brain, and I don't know what. And anyways, so I don't plan on doing dishes today, though. If I can get out of it. If not, then I'm gonna be screwed and stuck doing them. And I hate doing dishes. On a normal day, I hate doing dishes. But anyways, I do like badminton. Then I'm on vitamins. I'm on my iron. I'm on my one a day, and I'm on my B12. I ran out of my biotin, my vitamin E, and what else was there? something else. Ran out of calcium and D3. I think there was one other thing I ran out of. But anyways, so I just haven't had my annual done. I wasn't able to get it done last year, and I haven't been able to get it done yet this year. So I need to go in and have my blood work checked. There's a lot of viruses going around in the county that I live in, and that people in the county contract in various ways, numerous ways, including some food and beverage. So I need to go get tested and get my annuals done and get my cell counts on my blood work, and then I need to go get urine tox to see what stages I'm in. So, and to test my enzymes and all that good stuff and viral counts. If I have any, I'm not sure how that works. Nobody's ever talked to me about any of that or explained any of that to me. So, um, it's going to be interesting to even get an appointment. I don't know if I even want to try anymore. There's, I don't know. I'm discouraged and I've lost my motivation. So I don't know, but anyways, wish me luck. Um, anyways, people have accused me of being a dead person ever since I was 11 years old. And what happened was, I attended my mom's funeral in June of 1993. And my dad was the one that initially found her, and then I followed. Um, anyways, so my aunt and uncle ended up getting guardianship of me, and I ended up moving in with them because my dad ended up moving in with other friends, I believe, and leaving his and mom's trailer behind. So, anyways, rumor or what was said was that I came up listed as deceased one day for school, and they told me that I couldn't go to school or nothing. And so my aunt had to take me to. We had to go to the pediatrician. We had to get statements from teachers and some other things. Anyways, so we had to go to the Social Security office to get to fix it because my Social Security number was listed as deceased. Anyways, they had told us that it was a mix-up with me and my mother, and that it was a simple fix. So as long as that I complied with their demands, and as long as everything checked out, as long as I checked out as being my actual self and being it matching the identity. So, anyways, we done everything that was requested and went to the Social Security office and had had said that it was a simple mix-up, that it between mine and my mom's identity, and that it was fixed and I could go back to school and this and that. So, anyways, that's how that rumor came to be. Um, and I've been known as that. I didn't know it, of course. Um, I knew it at that time in the early 90s or mid 90s. I knew it at early 90s. I knew it at that time, but it's apparently been a thing my whole life. Um, and people didn't realize that I had that it had been cleared up and it was a simple mistake or misunderstanding or something, whatever it was. Anyways, I don't know what to say to it. I was 11. Give me a break. You can't hold me responsible for that. Especially since the whole falling out with me and my mom about me being a snot-nosed spoiled brat and learning to ride bikes in the rain. And her she'd been gone for 6 months, and I got to go see her a couple of times at her friend's house where she was staying. But she ultimately had been gone for 6 months and had left me and Dad high and dry at home. And whenever we tried to go get her, she wouldn't come. She said she was staying. And then whenever she did come home, she had called. We didn't have a phone, so she had called my aunt and from Scott County ER and told my aunt that she needed a ride home. And my aunt had came over to the house and told Dad, so Dad had to go get her. Anyways, so she came home. They had put her on antibiotics and pain pills, and she came home, I believe, on a Sunday. Anyways, long story short, she woke me up one night. I had been out bike riding all day in the rain, I think, whenever she told me no. And I told her I hated her and all this, and we had this falling out. And I felt guilty about it my whole life. And I've had it rubbed in my face more times than I care to count. I've been forced to live with that daily and reminded of it daily for a long time. Anyways, so I come home, and I can't remember if it was that night or the next night, but anyway, she was up. I think that night she was up, or that day she was up and down, going back and forth to the bathroom, saying she just couldn't get comfortable. She just couldn't. Anyways, so I believe it was she stayed in bed all day that day, or the next day, and then that night she had woken me up screaming, "Mommy, Mommy, help me." And she was in pain, and you could tell, and I was really, really groggy, and had got up and walked in there, and I got to her doorway, and I didn't go any further, and it was pitch black in there. And for whatever reason, I turned around and went back to bed. Well, the next day may have been the day she stayed in bed all day. Maybe that's what it was. Anyways, so we got up the following morning, Dad did, and he had come and tried to wake me up. And I didn't want to get up, and he finally, after arguing with me, he finally just said, "Sis, your mom's dead. Get up. We got to go." And I said, "You're joking." And I popped my head up and ran in there. And she was laying in her bed. The only thing she had on was panties. And she had a wash rag over her chest. She had a little fan that was sitting on her dresser that was pointing toward her. All the pill bottles she'd got from the hospital were laying on the dresser empty. And I had laid over her, and she was cold. She was already turning colors around her mouth and under her nails. And she was cold and stiff. Anyways, so me and Dad left, and we headed to Spicer Town in Austin, where she had been staying. Anyways, so on the way there, we get a flat tire, and we ended up having a cousin that was driving by that picked us up and gave us a ride. So we get there, and I go in, and I stay there at her house with her kids, and mom's friend ended up leaving with Dad, and because they had to go back to where Mom was and call the morgue and all of that. So anyways, they went back and called the morgue, and the morgue came and got her. Nothing ever came of it that I'm aware of, but as it turns out, after 42 years of life, I'm figuring out that my life isn't always everybody else's version. My version may be completely different or something, or maybe their version was different. I don't know. Anyways, I'm still dealing with that, and it's all what's done is caused reality. That's who's got the wazoo. But anyway, she had a funeral up the road at Collins Funeral Home in Scottsburg. Um, and she was buried in Austin Cemetery on 256 in Indiana, of course. But Indiana's or my family's home state, or my home state. Anyways, I was born and raised in Scott County. So, and I've lived here three-fourths of my life, over three-fourths of my life. I've lived in 4 other counties, and very briefly. And Hamilton, I bounced back and forth from Scott to Hamilton from 98 to 2010, plus the other 3 counties in between there also. So, anyways, I've been back to Scott for several years now. Um, since 16, since I got home from prison. I violated my probation by with an OWI. I got an OWI and it violated my probation. So I had to do, I think, 2 weeks in Scott for the actual OWI, and I got out. And then it caused the violation, which I had to do 6 months in Rockville over. So, anyways, um, back to Scott County, and I don't know what it is, but I hated it for a long, long time, and I hated blowing in whenever I'd leave Hamilton. I hated coming here. As soon as I'd blow in Austin, you could smell it. I'd be asleep in the driver's seat, and my husband would be driving, and I'd get woke up by the smell and know I was in Austin. Or we'd be out of town and headed home whenever we lived in Austin, and I'd know I was home by the smell. Anyways, we also used to have the alarm that the canning factory in town. It used to go off at 7 and noon and 5, I think. It's like Flintstones. But anyways, kind of maybe miss those things a little bit, but not really. Anyways, so here we are. Whenever I was gotten older, whenever I was like 16, I went to Collins Funeral Home and tried to get a copy of my mom's autopsy report. And I got a copy of it. It's just they Sharpied it all out and wouldn't let me see none of it. I don't know if they done it specifically for me or if it was done that way in general as a whole or what. But anyways, her determination was supposedly kidney failure. So I don't know what happened. I know she was gone 6 months before her funeral, or before I found her. So I don't know. But anyways, I try to go see her grave from time to time. But she was a birthing and Bricky and married to a Sawyer, to my dad. So anyways, there's been controversy. There was controversy in the mid-90s over having her grave where she was buried, because she's buried by my dad's side of the family. And there was controversy over them wanting the grave moved. And it's come up twice since. It comes up about once every 10 to 15 years, I guess. So, and once I got back on my feet after losing everything over the last 10 to 15 years, one of the things I wanted to do was get numerous spots together. So me and my kids, my husband, and both my parents could all be together. But I don't know if I'm going to get to do that. So, but anyways, the issue of wanting her grave moved from out there is a current thing, and I don't have the money to do so. And that's always been an issue. Everybody wants it moved, and nobody wants her to be known as a Sawyer, but nobody wants to pay to have her moved. And I'm not even sure it's still there, because there was some convincing, credible proof that they had her dug up, And one version was that they had sent the entire coffin over a cliff, and it came open and the body came out. And one version was that they kept her outer and had put somebody else in her coffin, and they had maintained her ID this whole time. So I don't know. But it was also said that she was murdered, and that night she was screaming that I may have walked in and caught whoever was doing it, and that may have been what happened. So I don't know. I do not know. But anyways, I I was diagnosed with depression at an early age. I think I was a teenager when that happened, and a lot of it is because of mental anguish. Um, but anyways, so that's how a little bit of how it came to be. Anyways, and I guess when somebody is labeled deceased or known as being dead, I guess um, they look at it like you're off the grid. People look at it like you're off the grid, and you're expected of things. Um, I'm not a member of any organization or anything like that. I'm just a person um, who's been down. I've been down on my luck most of my life. Um, I've attempted suicide 4 times, twice as a teenager and twice as an adult. Once was about, let's see, about 10 years ago? And then before that was, well, about 2 years prior to that. And then twice whenever I was a teenager. And all four, well, two of the four are medically documented because two of the four I had. The first one I had to have EMTs come and get me. The second one, my stepsister drove my dad's truck into the hospital, and we were drinking too. Well, I was drinking 3 of the 4 times, but anyways, drinking didn't have anything to do with it, believe it or not. And all alcoholics would tell you that, but seriously, it really didn't. It was just a thing. Um, Alcohol always helped make life tolerable. But anyways, I lost my train of thought on where I was going. Oh, my stepsister drove into the hospital, and the police officer that responded walked up to the truck, and my shirt was up over my head with my boob hanging out. My feet were up in the air. It was crazy. You should have. My stepsister had to drag me out of the bedroom and drag me off the freaking out of the trailer and drag me off the porch. I think she hit my head on the railing. Anyway, she had to throw me in the truck, so that the floorboard was where I ended up, and it's nothing to laugh about, but it's good to remember and talk sometimes. Anyways, then the third time was after my grandma's maternal grandma's funeral. I laid down and went to sleep, and then the fourth time was on my aunt's and uncle's sofa, and I laid down and went to sleep, and I cried myself to sleep both times. I think that was the same way with the first and second too, but anyways, I'm grown out of that. I'm not like that anymore. So I guess, and that does add to the me being known as a dead person because for obvious reasons. But anyway, as you can see, I'm sitting on a glider swing and talking live on my social media. So, and it is April 18th, 2024, but my calendars may be delayed for some reason. Who knew? Um, but it's the only date I've got. So, um, anyways, it's been a thing. Anyways, it's a persona that's stuck, and I'm trying to get out from underneath of it and get away from it, and trying to be as normal as I can possibly be. with me being in the condition I'm in. Um, and I want people to stop targeting me and let me, you know, live life to the fullest and be as normal as I can possibly be, and maybe even be happy briefly. I mean, I think I've been happy before. I think it can be done again. You never know. One of those things. Anyways, so just a little history on me. Um, I guess that's going to be all for now because I'm running out of battery and I dropped my laptop a week or two ago back, and now the fan is loose, so it's getting hot. Oh, I dropped my cell phone in the toilet yesterday, fully submerged, and I dove straight in after it, of course, and dried it and sanitized it with the Clorox wipe and all of that. And I got up this morning. I left it in a bag of rice. I left it in front of the fan yesterday, and then last night I put it in a bag of rice and left it all night. And got up today and put it back together, and it worked. Thank goodness. I don't have cell service or phone number or nothing, um, but I have home internet or Wi-Fi, so I stay on social media a lot between YouTube and Facebook. That's pretty much the only two hobbies I have. Otherwise, I lay in bed and stare. I was laying in bed most of the morning yesterday and today and just enjoying the fresh air and listening to, or just thinking or listening or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I have amnesia, so it goes in and straight out. So, anyways, but anywho, oh, I can't ever get the angle right, but still not getting the angle right. Still not. Anyways, that's embarrassing. I'm a little retarded when it comes to stuff, but anywho, on that note, I think I'm gonna go. Have a very good evening.